Yo, what's up guys, my name is Nick and welcome to the episode of the Singapore Grand Prix. It's round 17 and we are back in our headquarters and we have a marketing department. You can see go to event, that's what I'm doing right now, and you can see we get 1000 second driver acclaim, 375 team acclaim and 15,000 cash. I think that's because I had it earlier department event where I sent my teammates to a esports event, and that were the results. So I'm really happy that I did that, as we are continuing time towards the 2 upgrades on the 23rd September. But we are stopping because marketing department has another event and we have to choose our rival. Of course, we can go for Lewis Hamilton, George Russell and Max Verstappen, but I think that only one of them is doable. We have 2 multi-world champions and only one. It's not a rookie anymore, but he's not yet at their level. So I'm going to go for George Russell. He is a race winner now. But I have also won a few races at this point in the career. So we are continuing our time towards the upgrades and they both go on. That's great to see. I like that very much. And yeah, we are going towards the Singapore Grand Prix and we are now in practice. I normally don't show this. But yeah, as you can see, the first the first objective failed. I think, okay, then I go to the next one. Let's see if that one goes on. It's 50% success. No, we failed that as well. We go to the 25% success. That fails as well. We go back to the 70% success. That fails. And now we only have 22 minutes remaining, so we try the 70% again. You can see this time it goes on. And then we have 12 minutes and 30 seconds left. And we put that in a 25% success. And it all goes on. We have the full practice done. It's quality time in Singapore. And yeah, we are starting on a run on the mediums, and you can see we lock up and we actually hit the wall there. But luckily no damage as we are continuing towards our flying lap. We go wide here and we do luckily not touch the barrier. You can see we have a green sector, but of course it's only our first lap. But yeah, if you want to see me do this more often, of course I upload a video every Thursday and Sunday. And yeah, if you want to see that more often, then please like and subscribe. It means that more people want to watch this, so maybe I can put in a third video of the week. And yeah, as you can see, we are now in P22. Of course, we did a run on the mediums, and I decided to go for a different audio sort of thing where you can hear it differently, the engine. So yeah, let me know what you like the most. I'll make a short about it and link that in the description down below so that you can hear them all separately. But yeah, we are now starting our run on the softs. And as you can see, in between the first and fourth corner, we already made up half a second. And we are now at the moment 1.2 seconds up. So yeah, maybe that is enough, maybe it isn't. And as we cross the line, we are still in P22. So we go for another run. Of course, I went out in time. And we can improve by 1.3 seconds once again. Qualifying is complete. And as you can see, we round the final corner. Are we through to qualifying 2? It is... I think we are. It looks like we are. We are in P15, which is really great. Of course, we are just through, so that means that we probably won't get through to the final part of qualifying. And as you can see, my teammate qualified in P11 for the first part of qualifying, of course. And no big surprises for qualifying either. So let's just continue towards qualifying 2. And yeah, as you can see, we are straight at the end of the qualifying. Only 40 seconds remaining and we are in P15. Of course, I tried a lap on the old softs, but they just weren't fast enough anymore. So I'm going as fast as possible through these corners. We make up 1 second. And as you can see, we are trying our best to get into that top 10. But as we already know, I'm not the fastest one around here. I don't know why. Normally this circuit is good for me, but I just didn't get the feeling of driving here this weekend. So as you can see, we are now outside the top 10. We are actually in P12, and as you can see, I'm not going faster. Qualifying is complete at the moment. And as you can see, we are not improving. I am trying as best as I can. I try to cut the corner a bit and we crashed the car, unfortunately. So we are definitely out of qualifying. But as we have a look at the results, you can see I am in my garage. I don't know what happened there. But as we go on to see the results, you can see my teammate is within that top 10 shootout. So he's going to try for pole position, of course. We are not fast enough for that yet. But yeah, we qualify in P12, which is really great, of course, because Sebastian Vettel is out in Q2. He is a championship contender.
Against the spectacular backdrop of the Singapore skyline, Formula One returns once again to do battle in what tends to become something of an endurance race, with the notorious sauna-like temperatures in the cockpit making for an extremely physically challenging race. The Marina Bay Street circuit then has 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right, taking us a total of 3.1 miles around the landmarks of downtown Singapore. An average lap speed around here, just 107 miles per hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Daniel Ricciardo has a clear view ahead of him from pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso and Perez, Button, Ocon, Gasly and the engineer, Albon, Hamilton, Yuki Tsunoda and Vettel. Sainz, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Mick Schumacher, Lando Norris and Lance Stroll. Joe, Magnussen, they've taken a grid penalty. Schwartzman and Nicholas Latifi. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And with me today, of course, is Natalie Pinkham. We should talk about Williams. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
No more practice for us. It's now the real deal. We are getting into the Grand Prix, of course. As you can see, we are lining up for the grid. The guys in front and behind us are on softs, so they are doing a 2-stop, which could be really good for us as we are only doing a 1-stop from mediums to hards. And now we have lined up towards the grid, and you can see the 5 lights are coming on. My teammate is currently in P7. Let's hope that he can stay there as the lights are out, and we have a perfect start. Unbelievable. Nothing like that has ever happened to us. And yeah, you can see we are still side by side with Albon. And as we go through the first couple of corners, we try to go in between Ocon and Gasly, but unfortunately they have the better traction out of that corner. But we stay in position for the moment, which is really great, because of course we usually don't do that. So I'm really happy with this start. And let's try to continue our race. As you can see, Gasly and Ocon are now fighting for P8. We are still in P10 because some guys had penalties, like Hamilton. And we now go down the inside of Gasly and we overtake him, and we are up into P9. Gasly is on the softs, so if he tries to get back at us, I'm just going to let him through because he is not in our race. He is doing a 2-stop, so he's going to finish behind us. As we almost lose our front wing to the barrier. And we do it once again. We touch the barrier, but luckily no damage. And you can see, I don't know why, but in this season I just don't have the pace around here in Singapore. And you can see that quite clearly because Ocon is at the moment 3 seconds ahead and we are only in lap 2. Of course, at the end of lap 2, as we have a big moment. Luckily, no damage from that. As Daniel Ricciardo says, 1 minute 40.001. Almost in the 139s. We are not even in the 140s. Because you can see we put in a 142.002. And now in lap 4 we are already 6 seconds behind as we have a tap from behind. I think Gasly hit us. I don't know why, because I just braked at my normal point. But he got in the back of us, which means that he is probably has some wing damage. You can see going towards the pits, you can see that Gasly is now going away. He's into the pits and he has to change his front wing. So we are going to try and push on to keep up with the leaders. Of course, they are in faster cars, but my teammate is also there, so that means that I should be there as well. And Albon on the softs, he is in a Williams. Of course, he is doing an amazing job, to be honest, compared to his teammate. His teammate is currently in P20, and he is constantly fighting for points, which means that Williams aren't even the lowest in the constructor standings. As I think at the moment that is AlphaTauri with only 1 point, so that damage doesn't help AlphaTauri at all. Which means that they are now both outside the points. But yeah, we are inside the points for the moment. We are in lap 7 and we are almost 10 seconds behind Ocon. And Hamilton has now overtaken Albon. And Albon has gone into pit, so we are now in front of Hamilton and Vettel. Vettel, of course, with the bad qualifying. So yeah, he's trying to make up a good amount of positions to try and get back at Leclerc. Because he's currently leading the driver standings. And you can see Hamilton is trying to get past us. He's trying to push as hard as he can. Because there's only a gap of 0.4 of a second. Which is really nothing, to be honest. They are absolutely close. Which is absolutely impossible to say with how much distance that is. Because they are so close. They have DRS. Which means that he can easily overtake me in a DRS zone, but I get a track limits warning. That's not what I want.
The car behind is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Well done.
How is he falling back if he is at the moment 3/10 behind? Tell me how that is possible. Is Hamilton in a Mercedes? We are in a midfield car. I don't even know how my teammate is holding up with Perez and Ocon. I go wide in lap 9, which is really fantastic. But yeah, I don't know even how he can get that thought in his mind that I am faster than Hamilton and Vettel. Of course, now Vettel has overtaken Hamilton, which means that we now have to defend from Vettel. And yeah, we went from Vettel's first win to his last win. Of course, he won here in 2019. He was at Ferrari at that moment. So yeah, he won his last Grand Prix at Ferrari. Now, currently, he is retired, so we are no longer seeing him IRL in the Formula 1. Of course, in the game we will see him for another few seasons. Maybe he can come into F1 2023 or 24 as an icon. That would be really amazing. Then I'm buying the deluxe pack for sure, because I want Vettel as my teammate. And you can see lap 10. Vettel overtakes me, Verstappen is in the pits, and as you can see we are doing that as well. We are going into the pits a few laps early, because I can't drive on these mediums for too long. I don't know, it just didn't feel right. Maybe the mediums are overheating, which means that we don't have really that much space. But at the moment we are out of the pits, and you can see Magnussen is trying to overtake us as we are on cold tires. They're only 74 Celsius warm, so they are not up to temperature just yet, but we managed to keep Magnussen behind as now he overtakes us, and there is a yellow flag ahead of us. I think that's Pierre Gasly. So yeah, he is out of the Grand Prix, and now AlphaTauri really has no chance on scoring points this weekend. But as you can see, the safety car is out. The moment I was driving there, I thought, like, why is there no safety car? And at that moment the safety car came out, so now probably F1 will go into the pits and we will not gain that many positions, unfortunately. but we are on the hards, which means that we can go on till the end, and this makes it just that little bit easier to catch up at the end towards those medium runners who are going to try and go to the end on mediums. So there are still a few drivers who haven't pitted yet, but of course the majority of the pack has now pitted. So we are currently in P17. We have a lot of positions to make up as we almost ran into the back of Magnussen. Luckily we didn't do that as the CEST car is now in this lap. Maintain speed. Of course we have to wait until the leader, I think that's Daniel Ricciardo at the moment. He is driving fantastically this season. Yeah, we need to wait until he crosses the line to overtake someone, but we are sleeping. And you can see we have a bit of a gap towards Magnussen, so that's not good at all. And Schwarzman is now behind us. He's going to overtake us eventually if we don't get on with our race. You can see Vettel is trying to overtake someone. I think that's Ocon. It looked like Ocon, and as you can see we just get held up by that, and we don't get held up. We actually get helped by that because we can catch up back to Magnussen. But of course we are not that fast anymore because we are on the hards. We are on not that warm hards, so we can nearly hold on to P17. But luckily we keep Schwarzman behind for the moment. As now a few drivers pit, so does Lewis Hamilton. I don't know why he didn't go into the pits during the CEST car. I thought he has learned his lesson from Abu Dhabi 2021, but luckily he didn't. That means that we now get a free position. We are up into P13, and we are currently in lap 16. You can see we are fast forwarding a little bit in this lap because we just get hit in the back once again. I don't know why, but Schwarzman just ran into the back of me, didn't think about braking until he was in my engine. So yeah, he is going to the pits as we have a bit of collision with Sainz. We drift into that corner, but luckily no damage. As we are coming towards this section, you can see Stroll out of nowhere. He's trying to overtake us, and we are out. We are out of the Singapore Grand Prix. Let's see this from Stroll's point of view, because why is he doing this? You can see he is miles back and he just tries to overtake me. That means that we are out of the Singapore Grand Prix.
It's never easy to make it across the finish line here in Singapore, but they've done so with some style here today to take a remarkable victory. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out of the track was: speed. It sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
So this is our podium. You can see Daniel Ricciardo wins once again. And it's, I think, Charles Leclerc and not Lewis Hamilton. That should be George Russell on the podium. So that's really good for us in our rivalry, because we are losing out massively, because he gets every point in the rivalry and we get none. So yeah, that was our weekend. Unfortunately, we didn't get the result we wanted, but we move on from here. As you can see in the race results, Jenson Button moved up in P6. Vettel got up to P5. That's absolutely crazy, starting from P14. He did put in a 1:38.8, which is absolutely mighty fast, because no one else did that. And yeah, my teammate putting himself up into P6, giving us 8 points for the constructors is really great. But I think Alpine are now too far ahead of us to even get their position in the constructor standings. But we get a look at it right now. You can see Charles Leclerc is now leading by 34 points over Vettel. And we are still 72 points at the moment behind Alpine. So we need to have a really good race next time around to get that back. But that was it, guys, for today. If you want to see the Japanese Grand Prix, then like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.